אוקיי, שלום עליכם, שלום בעמיגי, ברוכים הבאים, בשם השם נעשה ונצליח. میگن میدونی همیشه تو لخدادی میخونیم לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה باستقبال شبات بریم که هی מקור הברכה. שבת ریشه و اصل شبات I'm talking Farsi. Shabbat is the source of all the barachot. Say a very wealthy person during the time of the Chafetz Chaim. He was extremely wealthy. As wealthy as he was, he had a lot of problems. He had a lot of issues. He was sick. His children were sick, and unfortunately, all the time, like it was, he had a horrible life. And the doctors couldn't even help him anymore. They said, like, listen, we can't help you. All the medications, all the treatments that they were trying to do, nothing worked. And unfortunately, this person was not Shomer Mitzvot. He was far from Mitzvot. And his business was open on Shabbat, just like a regular day. In one of his business meetings, he met with a very big merchant. He was very Yerushalayim, very God-fearing, and he was careful in the Mitzvot. And he told him, listen, I see you're a godly person. And he started telling him everything that he's going through, all the troubles. He says, listen, all the money I have, it's not worth it. All of his family is suffering with a lot of horrible things, and they can't help. So this person said, listen, what do you have to lose? Go to the Chafetz Chaim and ask him for a bracha. And he couldn't understand, what do you mean? Go to him, go to such a far off place, Shalom. Go to this far off place for what? What is he going to do? He's a magician? He's going to change the nature? They're sick. He's not a doctor. But his friend kept pushing him. He said, listen, do it. You have no idea what it does. When this person entered the house, he sees this broken down old house, and he walks in, he sits there. As soon as he sits down, automatically he just started crying and the Chafetz Chaim, he has his head down, doesn't know, and he starts telling him about all the sicknesses, everything that's going on, and he was begging the Chafetz Chaim to give him a beracha. Chafetz Chaim told him, give me your hand. And when he gave him his hand, he squeezed his hand. All he said was, לקראת שבת, לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה. Let's go to greet Shabbat together. That is the source of all the beracha. Do you want beracha? Don't come to me. I can't give you beracha. Start keeping Shabbat, and the beracha will come to you. This person says, it's not easy for me. I can't keep Shabbat. You know how many factories, how many things I have? I can't. It's impossible for me. It doesn't work for me to just close all my business. And when the Chafetz Chaim heard him, he squeezed his hand again, and he repeated the same sentence. He says, "Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha." We're gonna go greet Shabbat. That's the source of beracha. If you want beracha, if you want anything from Hashem, you will see. Keep Shabbat, and the beracha will come to you. That's all. Chafetz Chaim just repeated that, held his hand, and he told him this. He didn't know what to do. He had no idea what to do. And he sat there. He just sat there in front of the Chafetz Chaim. He couldn't talk. And then he said, Kibud Arab, I just came up with a great idea. In 20 days, it's the end of the year, back then, it was like, I guess, near January. He says, I'm going to make all the calculations of all my stores and all my warehouses and all my factories. Once I do that, then I'm going to start keeping Shabbat. He says, if you allow me to do that, another 3 Shabbats, let me do another 3 Shabbats like that. When the Chafetz Chaim heard him say that, he started crying. He says, my child, you think Shabbat is mine to let you desecrate it or not desecrate it? If Shabbat was mine, I would definitely let you, as much as you want. But Shabbat belongs to Hashem. He's the creator. How dare I let you just keep going the way you're going? I can't let you do that. When this person heard this, coming from the bottom of the heart of the Chafetz Chaim, with the he just couldn't bear it. He says, you know what? If I knew that Shabbat is so important, if I knew that Shabbat is so extremely, extremely dear in God's eyes, I would not dare desecrate even one Shabbat. And I accept upon myself with a full heart to start being strong about Shabbat. Then, as soon as the Chafetz Chaim heard him, he said, now I could give you a bracha. Now that you accepted this upon yourself, I could give you a bracha and your family. And they say that actually, within a year, everyone in his family was healed. And he saw that. He saw that bracha of the Chafetz Chaim came, as the Chafetz Chaim himself said, I can give you bracha, Shabbat can. And once you keep the Shabbat, once you are diligent, you're very careful about the laws of Shabbat, about keeping Shabbat, then I could give you a bracha. And that's exactly what happened. Baruch Hashem, many stories with the Chafetz Chaim when it comes to Shabbat. Okay, so continuing from where we were last week regarding Kiddush, and we talked about the cup of Kiddush, how it should be, and we talked about washing the cup inside and out, Kabbalistically. What about the wine? So number one, better that the wine should be red, color red, because whenever in the Pasuk, in the Navi, they're alluding to wine, they're talking about the red color of the wine. So that shows that that's really the preferred color of the wine. Grape juice is fine. Grape juice is fine. Some poskim say that grape juice is not good. You might hear about it. That's because the grape juice that we have nowadays, they kill the enzymes, and it'll never ferment. It'll never get any alcohol, and therefore a person won't get drunk. So yain v'shachar, yain, real wine that they would bring in the Beit HaMikdash, was wine that the person would be able to get drunk from drinking it. That's the importance of it. And that's why, let's say in the Beit HaMikdash, they would not be able to bring even regular grape juice. But for Kiddush, poskim say that it's okay, we could use it. A person could use grape juice for Kiddush, and that's okay. Some poskim say no, but we hold, Rabbi says it's fine, and we could use it. If a person prefers this white wine, or and it's a very good wine, the Chvot Shabbat, what they could do is that they could mix it. They could mix some red wine in it, and make it red. Wait a minute, it's asur to paint on Shabbat, it's asur to dye something on Shabbat. In food, Rabbi says it's fine, and we could go ahead and mix the wines, the red wine with the white wine, and it's fine. It's okay, we could do that. How about sometimes the wine starts to go bad, it smells. There's a certain smell to it, and lechatchila, best thing is not to use this wine. It's not respectful to use such a wine that smells for Kiddush. But if he doesn't have any other wine, that's all he has. So b'diavad, once this is the only choice he has, he makes Kiddush on it. If he could mix something else, some other, let's say grape juice, some other wine that doesn't smell and the smell goes away, that's even better. There is a halakha that says that something that was left out in the open overnight, a person should not drink. Why is that? Because it says that they're afraid that there is snakes, that the snake might come drink from that liquid, and the snake is very generous. It doesn't just take, gives something also. So it's going to put something with venom in that wine or drink. Very nice of him, but the venom could kill chas v'shalom someone. That's what Chazal said. If it's something left out in the open, uncovered, the person should not drink from it. Let's say, or you have a cup of water, like overnight it was left in the open, you shouldn't drink from it. Right, but actually, Shulchan Aruch writes that's only where there are snakes. Nowadays, I haven't yet seen a snake in our neighborhood. Human snakes we've seen, but real snakes we haven't seen. So those type of snakes we don't see. Therefore, really this halakha does not apply. on the simple level, this halakha doesn't apply. So therefore, what you mentioned, like, let's say you left a cup of water overnight on the table. You could drink it. Halachically, you could drink it because there is no snakes. What? That's Kabbalistically. That's what I'm saying. According to Kabbalah, we're fine. We could do it. Kabbalistically, they say if something that's left open, but the rachra is only if it's under your bed. If it's just sitting on the table overnight, you could actually drink it, right? Even as far as the rachra is concerned, But some people are careful. They don't drink it. I'll tell you, there are some that are careful, even not overnight. During the day, for a couple of hours, if the water was left uncovered, they don't drink it. Really, halachically, you could drink that water, and even overnight, halachically, a person could drink it. But definitely, much better, late at night, Friday night, or any night. You're walking by, you see, the pitcher of water is on the table, and, it's uncovered. You could just cover it. Why not? There's nothing to lose. By the way, leaving it in the fridge uncovered. Let's say you have a bottle of wine. You left it in the fridge, but, you lost the cork, right? It's fine. That's not considered that it was left out in the open at all. Even according to those that say it's left in the open, even that is not. There's another aspect of this, something that's meguleh, something that's left out in the open. That's respect-wise, meaning that in the Beit HaMikdash, if the wine that they would bring as libation by the offering that they would bring to the Beit HaMikdash, they would not use wine that was left unopened, that was left uncovered, and that's why for Kiddush, when it comes to Kiddush, there are people that are a little bit more careful with it, that wine that was left open, they wouldn't use, but if that's the only wine you have, you could certainly use it, and it is okay. You can make a baracha, even if it was left open overnight. Fridge or cabinet, you have wines in the cabinet that are left open, that still is okay. Depends, it says on the bottle. If you should put it, some they ask that you should put it in the fridge after opening. Some don't. It depends. It depends on how much chemicals you have in it. If you can, correct. But we can't say that it's asur to drink, right? Some people want to be careful. I know some people, they just use it to water the plants if it's left in the open. But really, halachically, it's okay. Now, in the winemaking process, especially in Israel, they would like to save money, and they add a lot of water to their wine. According to Ashkenazim, you could have wine, only 1/6 wine, and 5 parts water. You get that? Water, wine. That's like what is that? 17%, I think, right? 17% wine and the rest water, and they could even make. According to some Ashkenazi poskim, you could even make a borei peri and gefen on it. According to Maran, Shulchan Aruch, he writes you have to have a rov. That means at least 51% wine. At least that. Baruch Hashem, the more expensive wines that we have, especially like the California wines or something, definitely the more expensive wines, they're not going to add water to it. It's going to ruin their wine. They don't even add anything to it, not even not sugar, not alcohol. A lot of them do add alcohol, by the way, but that's something else. Now, Ashkenazim, they could make a bracha on this, but Sephardim, we have an issue. If you buy the wine, you gotta know, what wine we're buying. If it's too much water, then we cannot make a bracha of borei peri gefen on that wine. But again, most of the wine out there, state of New York, I think, does not allow to add water. I think, if I'm not sure, state of California adds well. Other wines that come from Chile or other countries, I'm not sure. Italy, Italian, you have to check. There are places you could ask Rabbi Google, and they'll tell you if this contains water or not. Now, how about wine? Let's get to the top tier wine to use, honestly, is a wine that you make at home, right? Really, because then you know exactly what's in it, and you haven't added anything to it, and you haven't pasteurized it. Yain mevushal, wine that is pasteurized, cooked, right, is a grade lower than wine that is not cooked. Because again, when it comes to Beit HaMikdash, they would not use yain mevushal. it's not respectful. At the end of the day, the halacha is that we could certainly make kiddush on wine that is pasteurized / cooked. What's the plus of the yayin mevushal? Yayin mevushal, the good thing about it is, let's say a person that is not, I can't say not observant, a person that is mechalel Shabbat befarhesia, publicly is mechalel Shabbat. This person, if he touches wine that is not cooked, that wine cannot be used. Okay? If he touches it, if he moves it, if he pours for you, it can't be used. So in order to remain safe, we try to use wine that is mevushal, that is pasteurized, that is cooked. And this way, again, let's go back to what we said. Yain, wine that is cooked, it's not so respectable. That's why even for Avodah Zarah, for idol worship, they wouldn't use it. So it's in the category that it would not be used for that. So therefore, there is an allowance if a person that is mechalel Shabbat b'farhesia, right? Publicly desecrates Shabbat. Such person touches the wine will still remain okay, and we could use it. If you have if you have wine that is not cooked, that means you made it at home, you did not cook it, you did not pasteurize it, then you got to be extra careful, right? If someone is there, you could pour for them. It's perfectly fine, and they drink. If they drink only half the cup, what are you gonna do with the rest of the cup? Yes. Yes.
If I have it on the table and it has been open, I will be very close. But if the housekeeper moves it around, it could be the table, is it still okay to use it because she's not?
If she's only moving the bottle, according to Rav Ovadia, you're still okay. According to some poskim, once she moves the bottle, we have a problem, right? So we have to be careful. We have to be extra careful when we have a maid or like someone who's cleaning up. When it comes to these wines, we got to put them away, lock them up. But if they do move it and you see them just moving it, they didn't pour, they didn't do anything, it's fine. We could that's okay. It could be used. So anyway, I'm just saying, a lot of the wines that we buy, we have to check. Some of them are not mevushal, so you have to be careful. That's all. Just have to be careful with them. It's perfectly fine. If anything, it's even better to use wine that is not mevushal, but wine that is mevushal is okay. It could be used. Wine that is carbonated, like champagne or sparkling wine, that is perfectly fine to use for kiddush. Grape juice, carbonated grape juice, that's also fine. The person could use it 100%, and that is not an issue at all. Someone who does not believe in Torah Sheba'al Peh, he says, listen, I believe whatever it says in the Torah, in the written Torah, and he keeps Shabbat, but and he says it, that I do not believe in the words of the Talmud or the Chachamim. He is considered an Epikuros. He's an Epikuros, and halachically, this person is asur to drink wine that he touches. Such a person. I don't know if we have such a thing these days, but just wine that is pagum. Pagum means it's blemished. How does wine become blemished? If someone drinks from the cup of wine, now this cup of wine is blemished. You cannot use this for kiddush. Okay? Wine that they drank from it, you cannot use it for kiddush. What can you do? Poor thing. You have a cup of wine, that's all you have. And then one of the kids came and says, oh, I love it, grape juice, and he drinks a little bit of it. I want to make kiddush. What can you do? Simple solution. You could add some more wine to it. Now it's good. You could add some water to it, and it's good. Just make sure you don't add the 60%. Just a little bit water even, few drops even, that'll fix it, and then you could even make kiddush on it. Yeah, we're gonna get to that for sure. Right now, we're gonna get to it right now. Now, how do we make kiddush? Best thing is to fill the cup. Even if you have a big cup, best thing is to fill it all the way up. Some say that it should be in a manner that as if there is a curve. There's a curve. Don't be afraid, even if it spills. I personally, I hate it when it spills. He gets it all over my hand. But they say it's a siman beracha. So what? Who cares? But anyway, but that's like, I'm telling you, like the best thing, like, there should be like a curve even over on top of it. And then, Be'ezrat Hashem, you get much berachot. When that happens, it's fine. If a person only has the correct amount of wine, but the cup is bigger, so it doesn't look good, right? You have a cup that is only half full, you want to make kiddush on it, it's not nice. What can you do? So a few things. Either you could put a couple of chunks of ice in it, right? That'll bring it up. Or if you don't have ice, you don't want ice, take a couple of dates or walnuts or raisins, whatever it is. Put it in, and that'll bring the wine up. Now your cup looks full, and then you could use it. Remember, we have enough wine. We're talking about that we have enough wine. It's just that you have a Baruch Hashem, Koshel Eliyahu Hanavi. You have a huge cup.
If you go someplace and forgot to take something was surprised, forgot to take a glass of wine.
Okay, so we discussed that last week, the other day. So if you're in a place and you don't have wine, so the best thing on Friday, run to the store. I think you could find grapes in California, especially year round. Take the grapes, crush them, and juice them. Have it ready for Shabbat morning, Friday night, Shabbat morning, and Motzei Shabbat. That's like maybe a pound or two of grapes. Crush it up and juice it, and you have it. Baruch Hashem, perfectly good. The grape juice to make a baracha. Yes.
But this is not the Shabbat.
This is not mevusha. You have to be careful.
Grape also have that?
Yes, of course. This is not mevusha.
But I had to use water too.
No. If you don't have and you're stuck, not water. No. It has to be on some important drink like whiskey, vodka, tequila, something of importance. And not Friday night. Only Shabbat day. Friday night you make kiddush on bread. Right? Friday night we have it recorded. You make it on bread. Did we have it recorded? Did we talk about it? Not yet? Okay, we'll get to it, business. Yeah, maybe not. Now, according to Kabbalah, wine is the attribute of judgment, right? How do you sweeten the judgment? By putting water. Water is the attribute of mercy. We put Kabbalistically 3 drops of water into the wine that subdues, right, the attribute of judgment, and turns the whole thing into rachamim, turns the whole thing into mercy, and Be'ezrat Hashem, that's Kabbalistically. You don't do it. You still Yotzei Kiddush, but this is according to Kabbalah. It is good to put 3 drops of water right before Kiddush in there. Now, again, let's go to the world of Kabbalah. The best way to do the Kiddush is someone else comes, pours the water for you in the cup, pours the wine, pours the water in the cup, and then with 2 hands, they lift the cup and they give it to you. You hold it with 2 hands, and then you remove your left hand. Okay? Again, someone pours the wine for you, and then someone pours the water in there. With 2 hands, they lift the cup, give it to you. You take it with 2 hands, and then you remove your other hand. You only hold it with 1 hand. Some people say you could hold the cup like this. Some people say you hold the cup in your palm. Some people say you put it on the tip of your fingers. You've seen it all, I'm sure. Kabbalistically, they say, like, your fingers, when they're sticking up, they're accepting beracha, and this is how you hold the cup. But even if you don't do it, even if you just hold it like this, you're fine. It's all good. I'm just saying, like, there are different ways of doing it, and according to some mekubalim, this is how a person does it. Now, he should lift the cup, preferably. The person should definitely lift the cup, so everyone around the table should be able to see the cup. If he holds it like this below the table and nobody sees what he's doing, that's not good. Hold it up so that everyone could see the cup, could see the wine in the cup. That's the way to do it. If a person is older, they have a hard time holding it up. That's fine. They don't have to, as long as they're holding the cup. That is fine. They're afraid, the hand is shaking, they might drop the cup, and so on and so forth. It's fine as long as they have their hand on it. It's fine.
So Rabbi, we are going to make this ready for the husband?
The wife could do it. According to Kabbalah, they say it's better that the boy should do it, the man should do it. If you have other men present on the table, it's better that they should do that. Perfect, perfect. Train him, train him.
You do that?
Of course. If
Someone gives help at me.
I ask someone to do it usually, and if there's no one there, I do it myself. Who better than myself? Now, uh, oh, what about the cups that have this little stem? Many cups that have then you don't have to lift it that much because it's already up. People could see it. That you could lift it just a little bit just to hold it, because whenever you're making a baracha, you should hold the thing just to hold it. But then to lift it up, you don't have to. If a person is wearing gloves for whatever reason, it's cold, or I don't know, they're too fancy, they wear white gloves. It's definitely better during the time of kiddush to remove the gloves because it's more respectful. There is a thing in the story in the Beit HaMikdash. There was this Kohen Gadol. He had too much. He was very arrogant. He would do the avodah in the Beit HaMikdash with gloves on. And then a horrible punishment came to him because it says, it's not respectful. What is this? You don't want to get his hands dirty. Wear work gloves. That's not, So they compare it to this. A person is making kiddush, he should certainly do it, without the gloves. But let's say chas v'shalom, someone has bandage on their hand. We don't say, oh, you have bandage on your hand, asur, don't make kiddush. No, you can make kiddush. It's not a problem. He doesn't have to give it to someone else to make kiddush. He could make kiddush himself. We say the chapter in the Torah in the beginning of Sefer Bereshit about Shabbat. Vaychulu hashamayim v'ha'aretz v'chot tzeva'am. All the pesukim that has to do with Shabbat, we say it. But before we do that, we read two pesukim from the previous chapter. Yom Hashishi. Really, this has to do with Friday. It says Vayi Erev, Vayi Boker, Yom Hashishi. And we borrow two words from the previous chapter, we connect it to Vaychulu Hashamayim. So they say, you know what, it's a cute thing. Yom Hashishi, Vaychulu Hashamayim, that's Yud Ke Vav Ke, that's the name of Hashem. They're all put together, but there's more reasons. The real reason that we do it is Kabbalistically, we need 72 words. And together between Yom HaShishi Vaychol HaShamayim V'Haaretz V'Chol Tzeva'am, and then the Baracha of Kiddush, Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu Melech Haolam Asher Kiddishanu V'Sutav V'Rasavanu V'Shabbat Kodesh B'Haba. Between these two put together, we have 72 words. There's more 72s in these also, but I'm just going to mention one. That's why when you count them, you will see that they're all together. We have 72 words in the Kaddish, in the Kiddush. And okay, now. All the people that are around us. So the Baruch of Kiddush itself, Baruch Atah Hashem, that's not part of the number. The number here is between Vaychul HaShamayim and the Baruch of Kiddush. All together, it adds up. Some Sidurim, if you pay attention, they have Aleph, Bet, Gimel, and they count the words that all together, it adds up to 72. And that's another reason why we add the words Yom Hashishi here. Sorry, 72 is Kabbalistically, it's the name, the combination of the letters of the highest level of the name of Hashem, which is you have 3 pesukim in Parashat Beshalach, right? Each one of them is 72 letters, okay? And then you take the first letter of the first pasuk, the last letter of the second pasuk, and the first letter of the third pasuk. You put them together. That's one name. And then I don't know if you've ever seen. There's a chart with like all these 3-letter names put together. This is like the name through which Hashem runs the world, and it's an extremely important thing. That's where 72 comes from. All over, you're going to see 72 in many places. That's where that comes from. In Greek they call it, I think, the tetragram, something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Now, everybody else that's listening to the person making kiddush, how are they yotzei? Everyone should make their own kiddush. What do you think? There's a concept that's called shomea ke'oneh. One who hears, it's as if the person themselves, they are saying it. So therefore, if it's as if I'm saying it, right, that means if I talk in the middle, hey, how are you? Like, in the middle of Kiddush, I see my friend walk in, like, Shabbat Shalom, Baruch Haba. It's like, imagine, in the middle of the beracha, you stopped, and you talk to someone else. It's a hefsek. You've cut up the beracha, and therefore a person would not be yotzeh. It's the same idea that, on Purim, we hear the Megillah. Someone is reading the Megillah. Again, it works in the same mechanism. Like, the other person is reading it, me listening to him reading from a Megillah, which is kasher. It's as if I'm reading it myself. But in that case, I have to be very careful to hear every single word that comes out of the person's mouth. Right? That's why it's extremely important for us to be able to hear every word of Kiddush. You go to some houses, the person doesn't know how to read. Like, he goes, Yom Shishi, like, it's like, not only he wasn't Yotzeh, I wasn't Yotzeh either, because it's Shomea Keoneh. What do we do? What do we do when we go to places like, either the person is too old, he can't, he's trying to say every word, but he has a hard time saying it. It happens. Or simple, the person doesn't know. He just doesn't know how to read. Either case, the best thing to do is stand like this, like, and you say it. You don't want to embarrass the guy as he's saying it, you're also saying it. Like, it doesn't matter, man, woman, like, whoever it is that's listening to the Kiddush, like, when you see such a situation, like, or if you realize there is such a situation, you're listening and you say, wait a minute, I can't hear a word. And there is no chance that later I'm going to be able to say Kiddush. This is it. Take it or leave it. What do we do? If the person can't see you, just say it. But other people are watching you. So the best thing is, like, to cover up in a manner that it won't embarrass the other person. And you just say it word by word. Look at the cup of Kiddush and say it word by word, and that would be perfect. If he's making Kiddush, right, it's Baruch Hashem, it's a good sign. It's a good sign. If the person is totally not Shomer Shabbat, he drives around on Shabbat in public and everything, then you say it with them. With them. At the same time that the person is saying it, you say both. I said, Chiyuv, the obligation of Kiddush is on both. Is a man and woman, the same exact. Doesn't matter. You say, your husband say, everyone. Like, yeah. Usually, I'll tell you, honestly, a tip. I always do this myself. Wherever I am, no matter who, I have the Siddur in front of me. Because I want to follow, that's the best way. Imagine, you listen to the other person, you start spacing out, You look at the Siddur, word by word, as the person is reading. First of all, you can catch their mistakes. But also, you could have more kavanah. It's much better. It helps your kavanah. You're doing a great mitzvah of Kiddush. And why not? We do it like that. Yes? No, there we have an issue because you don't have the Mishnah. We need two breads, right? There's another. Let me tell you, halachic. What it says in the Gemara is that you could allow the other person to make kiddush if you want to give them kavod, but hamotzi the balabayit should make. We're going to get to that later. Really, you should be the one making hamotzi, unless it's someone extremely important. But otherwise, you should be the one because it's your bread. You want to give it out. You should do it. The balabayit should do it. That would be much better. Again, sometimes you're right. We get stuck and we need to honor the other person. And unfortunately, the other person is not Shomer Mitzvot, Shomer Torah. Then we have they have a much bigger issue, right? I know the situation. So in that case, you get out of it, do it yourself. That's the best thing. If you can't get out of it, then as the person is saying hamotzi, again the same thing. You say the bracha of hamotzi because that's going on the double bread, and then the Hashem should have mercy on all of us. Why not? If they want to make their own. Okay, that's fine.
But he said the bracha and then way by himself, right?
No, first he has to make it himself. He's the balabait. Let him make himself. If they want to make berachot, let them make. But he should make his own. He's the boss. You're the boss. Balabait. For sure, balabait goes first. it's gonna become a hefsek. By the time they all make, it's another hour. If a person does not know Lashon HaKodesh at all, doesn't understand Kiddush, doesn't understand what it is and everything, or let's say you are in a place that they are saying it in a different pronunciation. Let's say Sephardi goes to a Hasidic place. They're all Hasidim. Say, Burichatu Hashem Elokaini. He doesn't understand what this person is saying. If you don't understand the word of what he's saying, then you're not Yotzei the Chovah. Like, you can't be Yotzei, So in those cases, right, then we have to do it ourselves. Again, the same thing. Even if I don't understand, let's say, Hebrew at all. But even if I'm saying it, then I'm Yotzei the Chovah. But if I'm hearing it and I have no idea what I'm hearing, it's like Chinese to me, then I'm not Yotzei. Sometimes even Yemenites. I don't know if you've been to a Yemenite shul. A lot of them, the pronunciations are very different, and they have special songs. I don't know if you've ever been. It's beautiful, but sometimes you don't understand what they're saying. They don't say Elokeinu, they say Elekeinu. And there's a lot of different pronunciations. So we don't understand. If we don't understand what they're saying, then we should say it ourselves. That would be the best. That would really be the best if you could do that. If you can't do it, not every time, not all the time you could do that. Then you just look at the cup that the person is holding and say it. Okay? Now, the person that's making Kiddush should not rush through it. They should say it word by word. This way you have the obligation of everyone else on your shoulder. Say it word by word and proper and loud so they could all be able to hear. And the person should look at the cup and that would be the best thing. Now, everyone around, they don't have to really drink from the cup, but it's a kavod, it's respect. They show that we love this mitzvah, and they could drink a little bit from the cup. Now, a tip that's brought down in the Sepharim, a person wants to have his memory when they get older. Like, it's a segula for zikaron, for memory. When you say in Kiddush, we say zikaron lemaaseh bereshit. And the word zikaron, that means memorial, memory, right? A person should have kavanah that I should not lose my memory. And if you're hearing it, hopefully the person that's making Kiddush, he should have this. We should tell them, listen, when you get to the word zikaron, right? In our mind, at least, when we are hearing it, we should have that in mind. And the person that's making Kiddush, he should also do it. We Sephardim, before Kiddush, what do we say? Sabri Maranan. And everyone says L'chaim. Ashkenazim don't say L'chaim. We Sephardim, we say L'chaim, right? And this is from the Zohar Kadosh. It's from the Zohar Kadosh. And the number one, what does it do? It awakens us. It's like, to have kavanah. Otherwise, everybody's talking. Suddenly you hear this guy saying Kiddush. Hey, what happened? When he says Havrim on night, we say L'chaim. Okay, then we were paying attention. And the thing. There's a story in the Gemara that says Rabbi Akiva made a big feast for his son. And every cup of wine that he would pour for the Chachamim, he says, Hayim ve'yain lefihem shel Chachamim v'talmidehem. Life and wine to the mouth of the Chachamim. That's one of the sources of us saying L'chaim when we are making Kiddush. We have to be very careful when we are hearing the Kiddush not to say Baruch Hu Baruch Shemo. Right? Person is saying Kiddush, again, it's like, as if I'm saying a Baruch. I'm saying Baruch Atah Hashem. Then I say Baruch Hu Baruch Shemo. It doesn't work. It's smack in the middle of the thing. And by the way, saying Baruch Hu Baruch Shemo is not really an obligation. The person is not really obligated. The biggest obligation is answering Amen. Amen is extremely important. Amen, they say, it's even more important than the Baruch itself. When you're saying Amen, you're showing that 100% believe in this Baruch that was said. So this is the seal of approval. Amen is extremely important for a person to be very careful to answer Amen and to answer Amen very clearly. I can't say enough, but answering Amen. There's a lot of stories I could tell you from old, regarding the importance of answering Amen. Baruch Hu Baruch Shemo really is not mentioned anywhere. The only first person I believe that mentioned is Rabbeinu Asher about 700 years ago. Before that, you don't find it. But Amen, for sure, is mentioned.
Somebody saying, why is it that bracha, but I see mistake? And I say, I'm not
Yes, yes. As if you know the person is making a beracha, and the person is Jewish, yes. If the person is like not Jewish, then we can't say amen to that.
You say how I bracha, it's not I say bracha, and nobody pay attention. What's gonna happen?
Hashem Yazor. Hopefully someone
So
will
I
answer.
don't say loud in this case.
Say loud. Say loud.
Say loud.
Hopefully they will. Hopefully they will. Yes.
I heard that if women hear the bracha, they don't drink, they're still okay.
Yeah, yeah. As I mentioned, nobody has to drink the wine except for the person making kiddush. Nobody has to drink the wine. The drinking the wine only shows that it's dear to them. That's all. Someone doesn't want to drink. You're a kiddush. You're about this kiddush, and we're going to get to kiddush from Seudah. But as far as the mitzvah of kiddush, as long as you heard it, as long as the person making kiddush or someone, better the person that makes kiddush, drinks the wine, we're fine. We don't have to drink the wine.
So but how long do we have to drink? If you want to drink it, then you have to say bracha again.
No, if you talked in between, then you have to make a beracha. If you didn't talk, right, it's just going around the table. Finally, it'll get to you. That is fine. That is
But
fine.
it's something like that. It doesn't have the wine. You want to have grape juice.
Okay.
So can I put in grape
Sure.
juice and
Yeah.
wine?
Yeah. So in that case, again, the same thing. If they didn't talk between kiddush and drinking, they don't have to make a beracha. But if they talked in between, they make a beracha b'orei
And
peretz.
sometimes somebody say wine, and I don't want to have it from his mouth. What happens?
Did we talk about this? I don't think we talked about it yet. Shulchan Aruch says that a person should not drink from a cup. This nothing to do with kiddush. Always, it's brought down. Ben Ish Chai also brings it. A person should not drink from a cup and then give it to someone else to drink, because what's going to happen? The other guy is going to be embarrassed not to drink. It's not nice, and then the other person is very sensitive, and it says Chas v'Shalom, he could die. And the blood is on this person's hand. So he says you have to be very careful, unless it's family, close family. We know our family, fine, we drink from their mouth. But someone else, no, chas v'shalom. You want to give him, you made kiddush, pour it in a cup, drink for yourself, and give them the thing. For sure, that's not only by kiddush, it's by everything. Every time you want to, you want to drink something and give it to someone else.
But you cannot have this person here and not give to everybody.
That-
You
the-
can make it for the not for base
So that's where these little cups came from that everyone pours on the things and gives it to them. You've seen, in shul they have it and all of this. That's what we just said, right? So you have these little cups. That's where it came from. Otherwise, they just pour for everyone. Hopefully they'll understand not to drink from the cup and give it to the next person. And if they did, now. One thing, if the person by mistake said Baruch Hu Baruch Shemo, so if he didn't miss the words of the Kiddush, he's Yotzeh. If by mistake the person said Baruch Hu Baruch Shemo, we don't say, you have to go back and make Kiddush because you said Baruch Hu Baruch Shemo, but certainly and definitely it's a person should be careful not to do that. Okay? Baruch Hashem. We'll continue next year, Be'ezrat Hashem.